On this trip, we're cycling along the waterways and old railways of northern France. It's a 9-day trip, over 630 kilometres, mainly traffic-free and flat riding, following rivers, canals, quiet lanes and greenways. I used the excellent France Vélo Tourism website to choose our route. I'll put a link in the description. We start out from Saint-Malo and head down to Nantes, then follow the Loire to Saumur before turning north up to Le Mans. But first, we have a day of travel. We have to get across London and get down to Portsmouth for the overnight ferry to Saint-Malo. Saint-Malo. The port in Saint-Malo is very close to the smart walled town. We take a quick tour. There are lots of restaurants and cafes and shops. It looks well cared for, unlike many English ferry ports. Yeah. A small ferry across the Rance Street felt like a proper start to the trip, after a day of faffing about getting to Saint-Malo. The Dinard Greenway is an old railway which gives an easy ride down to the attractive Port de Dinard, a bustling little place, even on an overcast grey day. The V42 follows the Canal de Ile-et-Rance. We will be on here for the next 200 kilometres. Peter reveals his new rain kit. I'm deeply unimpressed. It's more parachute. Fortunately, we get to our accommodation before any serious rain. Day 2 starts with more grey skies. We'll be following the canal all day for 70 kilometres to Bruges. At Rennes, we hit our first city, with its smart old town feel.
What you got left in the tank? Yeah.
The afternoon is spent back by the canal. The miles flow past, and eventually we reach our accommodation at Bruges. Day 3 started bright and warm. Conditions we would have for the rest of the trip. Not too hot, perfect for riding. Today will be another 75-kilometre day, mainly by the canal as we work our way down to Redon. The canal paths are largely deserted. Towns and villages are infrequent or avoided completely. We would go long distances without seeing anyone, either on the path or on the water. You really have the feeling that this corner of France is empty. It's mid-August, maybe everyone's at the beach. Despite this, the paths are well maintained. The flat, hard-packed dirt and gravel makes for easy progress. Day 4 starts at Redon, from where we would follow EV1 to Nantes, 100 kilometres away. After 4 days by the canal, a certain sameness was beginning to creep in. I even start missing the hills and the variety that they bring. This stretch of the canal though is very pretty, and I'm soon distracted by the scenery.
Super. Merci, Michel.
After 100 kilometres in the hot sun, this felt like a really long day. Our reward though was a very nice hotel and restaurant. Day 5 starts with a quick visit to Nantes FC. Unfortunately no football today.
We'll turn left.
We follow the river path into Nantes along with all the weekend joggers, and then take a quick tour around town before we finally reach the Loire and turn east along EV6.
This would be a great shot, but there's some idiot in a West Ham shirt right in my way. What is that?
We crisscross the Loire all day, following the river on quiet back lanes, heading for the hilltop town of Saint-Florent-le-Vieil, where we would end the day, halfway through our tour. At the end of the day, we cycle up one of the few hills we've encountered to Saint-Florent and enjoy the views from the Abbey. On day 6 we continued east up the Loire to Angers. For the first time, towns and villages came along regularly, with cafes and restaurants in the small towns by the riverbank. We entered the outskirts of Angers via Beauchemin, sharing the path with everyone enjoying their Sunday afternoon out. Day 7 would be our final day on the Loire. We left Angers and headed east to Saumur. These final kilometres by the Loire on this tour were some of my favourite. The wide river with its sand islands always in view. We enter Saumur past all the wine merchant warehouses. It's a smart little town with a really nice town square. At Saumur we cross the Loire one final time. We leave the river behind and head north on the V44, also known as the Vélo Buissonnière. The roads were soon deserted again, and we idled into Longjumeau, dreaming of beers in the early evening sunshine. But no, we're disappointed to find out Longjumeau was a ghost town. Everything was closed, the only exception being the worst takeout in France. Day 8 was our last full day on the bike. 80 kilometres to La Suze-sur-Sarthe. This part of the Vélo Buissonnière utilises an old rail route as far as La Flèche. Again, there was no one on the trail to be seen. We passed through Bourges. It might have seen better days, but it has a great bakery. Knowing this was the last full day on the bike, that end of tour feel started to settle. We do a trip like this each year. It's a real luxury. Time away with a lifelong friend. The biggest decision I face in this bubble is whether to have wine or beer with dinner. We talk about past trips. Where does this one rank? Where we want to go next? And the kilometres pass easily in good company. We make La Flèche with its pretty central square for a late lunch before pushing on through farmlands to end the day at Le Suze-sur-Sarthe.
One of those eyes, you know, you get something in it, you can't get it out, it makes your eye go blurred.
In the morning, we take the short ride to Le Mans and the train to Caen. At Caen, we take a quick spin round the town and then ride up to the port at Ouistreham. So that's it, 630 kilometres completed
Well, that's
and
it,
another
mate,
trip
done
done. More great memories in the bank and already looking forward to the next one.